put it on here as well. Here's the meeting ID if you need it. 817-4278-2436. And a passcode, very simply, all in capital letters, is WHNF 2022. So 2022. Thank you so much, dear Maharaj, for putting that. And I think it's been nice. You're going to also see Maharaj coming on later. But this festival is not possible without an amazing team. And we have so many of our team in the background who've been working on this, from the promotions to the media team, from the logistical team. And we will be wanting to thank them at some point. But for now, let's now get into the festival. And I just want to know if I can see Tulsi Wallab Prabhu. I believe he is online. He should be here. If we can have dear Prabhu come on. Hare Krishna Prabhu, how are you? You are muted, dear Prabhu. Just checking.
Very well. Do you hear me?
We do. We
Okay.
see.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm fine.
Thank you so much for joining. And I just want to say we are so grateful for you to join us today. And just a little background for everybody. So we are going to be focusing on Sanskrit pronunciation. This year in the World Holy Name Festival, there's a few themes that we wanted, that Sri Krishna Chaitanya Swami Maharaj, myself, and a few of the team wanted to really, really emphasize. One was, as Maharaj will say, Sanskrit pronunciation. The other part was about Japa. How can we go deeper in our Japa? And of course, we are the ISKCON Kirtan ministry. We wanted to understand a little bit about the Kirtan standards, how we can go better in our standards so we can actually increase in our spiritual life and go deeper in our Japa. So I think we start with Sanskrit pronunciation, which is key. And then we've got here Tulsi Wallab Prabhu, who has joined us. And he's a great Sanskrit teacher. And he focuses on pronunciation. He's one of the best, actually. And we're so proud that he's here with us. And you actually...
I'm also one of his students. I'm one of his students.
Wow. See, so you've got endorsement here. So everybody watching online, I want you to check. He's got a 15-day course that...
I took the course.
You did a course, the Introduction to Sanskrit.
Yeah. Yes.
So this is an online interactive course. I believe it was from 15th of February to March the 7th. And Tulsi Wallab Prabhu, will you be doing another course soon on this?
Yeah, definitely. We are planning to launch a course in the coming 1 month.
In 1 month's time. So we will be helping to promote this course. It's important we get this. And you run an independent school in Vrindavan as well. So it's not just doing online. He's got a school. So I really want everybody to, if you didn't hear about Prabhu, you do now. Let's try to embrace about Sanskrit pronunciation. So please, I think if we can put our hands in the air and 3 big Haribols for dear Prabhu. And if you can turn your videos on, those that are in. I can see Mata. Thank you so much. I'm going to just see Radha Vallabi Mata just joined and put her hands in the air. Come on, let's get everybody. Madhav Charan Prabhu, let's get your cameras on. I want to just check before we go. I'm putting gallery mode. I see Maharaj. I know some of the guys are playing in the back. And we've got Vaishnav Pram Prabhu all the way from South Africa who is joining, who's also part of the National Council in South Africa. Thank you so much for joining. Seva Kunj Prabhu is here. So let's just raise our hands in the air. And Maharaj, if you can take us through maybe the Maha Mantra and then 3 Haribols to help us inaugurate this festival right now.
Okay, let's chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Haribo, Haribo.
Welcome.
Haribo.
Haribo. Thank you so much. Now over to our dear, amazing teacher, Tulsi Wallab Prabhu. Please take it away. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Jagannath Kirtanananda Das. Thank you very much for giving me this beautiful opportunity to promote Sanskrit. Ataha bhavatam sarvesham aham Mama Sashtanga Dandavannatim Pranipatya Vayam Agre Gacchamaha. Therefore, after offering my humble obeisances to all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis present here, I'd like to go ahead. And today, our topic is Sanskrita Ucharanam, the proper pronunciation of Sanskrit. And I'll do a very short presentation. And this is necessary not only for those who know Sanskrit, who doesn't know, also those who knows, because sometimes we mispronounce things. And what I'm going to teach today, it's mostly based on the alphabets. Main science of grammar is hidden there. And if you understand this science, I'll try to make you understand in a very simple layman's way. And if you understand this science behind pronunciation, then you will never have any difficulty in pronouncing big words in the shlokas. Also, even if you make any mistake, you can rectify yourself. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namate. Yo antah pravishya mama vacham imam prasuptam sanjeevayatya akhila shakti dharaswadhamna anyamscha hasta charana shravanastvagadin pranan namo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam. Apadamapahartaram dataram sarva sampadam lokabhiramam shriramam bhuyo bhuyo namamyaham. Vande Sanskrita Mataram. So I'm really happy that you chose a slot for Sanskrit pronunciation. And this is a big boost to the Sanskrit learners, especially for those who are willing to learn Sanskrit and pronunciation. We actually want to re-establish the glories of Samskrita. Without Samskritas, Bhasha Vihaya, what is Bhasha? In Sanskrit, Bhashayati Bhavayati iti Bhasha. What is Bhasha? Language. Bhashayati, which makes you speak and which helps you to think. Bhashayati Bhavayati iti Bhasha. And now we see all our literatures, Vedaha, Puranani, Smrtayaha. All the scriptures are written in Sanskrit. Those acharyas, Sad Goswami, they came to Vrindavan. Most of them were from Bengal. They could have easily written the books in Bengali. But why do they write all the books in Sanskrit? Shankaracharya, who first started this Vedanta Bhashyam called Sharirika Bhashyam, he wrote it in Sanskrit. Then Ramanujacharya came. Shankaracharya is from Kerala. Ramanujacharya came. He's from Tamil Nadu. He could have easily written in his own mother tongue, but he wrote it in Sanskrit. Then Madhvacharya came. He's from Karnataka. He could have easily written in Kannada Bhasha, but he wrote it in Sanskrit. Jayadev Goswami, who was from Orissa, Valadev Vidyabhushan, who wrote the Govinda Bhashyam, which is our Bhashyam of Gaudiya Sampradaya of the Vedantas, is written in Sanskrit. Villamangal Thakur. Villamangal Thakur is far from South Kerala. He was a Malayali, but he wrote it in Sanskrit. So there is something in this language, and it has, if you count in English, generally 23 lakhs to 27 lakhs words are being majorly used. In all other languages, it will not cross more than 30 lakhs, whatever language is prevailing in the world. But when it comes to Sanskrit, there are 2.5 crores words which are daily used. So there are many words which cannot be translated. For example, rasagya, marmagya. Take a very simple example, karma. We say karma. And it's being widely used in all other languages, even in English and all other Roman language everywhere. Because the concept does not found in any other culture. It is from this scriptures, karma. And related to karma, there are many words. Prarabdha is also the previous accumulated karmas are called prarabdhas. How will you translate it into English? If you translate prarabdha, aprarabdha, kriyaman prarabdha, sanchita prarabdha. So within one family, there are so many words that you cannot translate. Even in Indian languages, there are no such words. So these terminologies cannot be translated. When you cannot translate, you cannot express the exact inner meaning into that language. Therefore, Sanskrit has to be understood through Sanskrit. If you translate it, in the process of translation, you lose the real meaning, the deep underlying meaning, you lose it. So let us start with this pronunciation thing. And yadi kopi samskritam samyakarupena avagantum icchanti. If someone wants to learn the scriptures, shastrani avagantum icchanti, chettena avashyameva samskritam abhyasaniya. If someone actually wants to understand the underlying meaning of the scriptures, he has to go deep into this language. And once you know this language, then there are so many scriptures, so many books. Even in one lifetime, it is difficult to finish up reading all the books written by our Sad Goswamis. What to think of all other scriptures. So when all the scriptures, entire Sanatana Dharma is, the root is in Sanskrit. So we have to nourish this root. And mainly when we speak something, the Siddhanta, you see, suppose we talk about Charnamrita. Say, for example, someone wants to sitting in the temple in a corner and distributing Charnamrita. So there is a mantra of taking Charnamrita. What is that? Om Akala Mrittu Haranam Sarva Vyadhi Vinashanam Vishnoho Padodakam Pitva Shirasa Dharayam Yaham. So this is a mantra. What is the meaning? Om Akala Mrittu Haranam, which can eliminate any sort of premature death, which can protect you. Sarva Vyadhi Vinashanam, it can cure all sorts of diseases. Vishnoho Padodakam Pitva, by taking this Vishnu Padodakam, Pada means feet and Udakam means water. So this Charnamrita, Pitva, Papane, to drink. After drinking, Shirasadharayamyaham, I will put it on my head. So this mantra, if you always dependent on translation, then there are so many mantras in day-to-day life. Say when we do Achaman, Om Gange cha Yamune chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Jalasmin Sannidham. So likewise, in Sodasa Samskara, think about Sodasa Samskara, from Garbhadhan, when the child is being conceived, from there on to the Antyashti Kriya. After a person passes away, the Antim Kriya is Antyashti Kriya. Sodasa Samskara, 16 rituals, all are performed in Sanskrit. You cannot perform these things by translation. So there is a big necessity of learning Sanskrit. Now let's see what Prabhupada said about Sanskrit. you see it, Maharaj? Okay. You can see it. So this is our Pathshala, basically, Loka Samskrita Pathshala. See, what is the quality of a reader? Madhurya Makshara Vyaktihi Padachhedastu Suswaraha Dhairyam Laya Samartham Cha Shadete Pathaka Gunaha. It's a Chanakya. Madhuryam, there should be sweetness while you are reading something. The qualities of a reader. Madhuryam Akshara Vyaktihi. When you pronounce something, each letter should be distinct and audible. In Vedas, there is a sutra called Gatir Mando Dviko Dhvanihi. You go very slow, but the sound will be very high-pitched chant. Gatir Mando Dviko Dhvanihi. Such as we say, Harihi Om. So go slow, but that's what it is saying. Madhuryam Akshara Vyaktihi. Each letter should be very distinctly pronounced. Padachhedastu Suswaraha. And while you're reading difficult words in a shloka or anywhere, Padachhedastu. Distinctly, I mean, you split. If there is sandhi, conjoint letters, you split it. And then you pronounce, so that the audience who has not much knowledge can easily understand. And suswaraha, the va should be melodious or audible. Dhairyam, the reader should have patience. If he thinks, okay, I have to finish it fast, then he cannot be a good reader. Laya samartham cha, he should know the chanda shastra, the meters. So even though there are difficult shlokas, many people ask that how you remember so many shlokas. Actually, when you learn Sanskrit, it's not difficult. Like if I tell you a sentence, a phrase in English, which is your mother tongue, you won't have any difficulty. So make friendship, build friendship with Sanskrit. You study it, then you read any shloka. You hear even somebody is talking, giving Harikatha, and you're hearing, and you remember it, because you have developed a friendship with the language. Second thing is that when you know the chanda, meters, so even though it is very difficult, like Bhagavatam, Jaya Jaya Jaiha Ja Majita Dosha Gribhita Gunam Tvamasi Yadatmanam. So there are big words. But how am I pronouncing? Easily, because the Laya Samartham, you see there is a word here, Laya Samartham. Laya means the wave. The wave will take you. The chanda will take you. Naturally, it will come in your mouth. Shadete Pathaka Gunaha. These are the 6 qualities of a reader. Okay. Now let's see what are the mistakes that a reader does while he is reading. Gati Shigri, Giti Shigri. He sings or talks very fast. Shirah Kampi, while he is reading or chanting, because of stress and stress, he is nodding his head too much. So a reader should not nod his head too much. Shirah Kampi, that's what the shloka says, not me. Tatha likhita pathakaha. In this way, if someone reads something which is written, anarthagyo, who does not know the exact meaning of that particular word. Here lies the importance of learning Sanskrit. Because you won't be able to understand the exact meaning, underlying meaning of that word unless you know the language. Because a word has many meanings. Anarthagyo. The same Bhagavatam is being read by the impersonalists, by 4 sampradayas of Vaishnavas, but each time there is a different meaning. but the shlokas are the same. So Sanskrit, the words are kalpataru. It's like a desire tree. You can derive the meaning based on your capacity and the siddhanta, the theology you have. Anarthagyo, alpa kanthascha, who has a very slow voice that the audience cannot hear. They have to stress while hearing. Shadete pathaka dhamaha. These are the poor quality of readers. So reading very fast, nodding his head while he's reading. Anarthagya, he does not know the exact meaning of the shloka or whatever context. Alpakantha, whose voice is very low. These are the adhama pathakaha. Let's see what Prabhupada said. Sorry. This is the practice of the Brahmanas to be conversant with the science to pronounce a Vedic mantra in the right accent. The combination of the mantra and Sanskrit words must be chanted with the right pronunciation. Otherwise, it will not be successful. Srimad Bhagavatam is a purport, 4th canto. So it is applied for Vedic rituals, especially when you are going to do some Vedic rituals. Then it is necessary. You know this Indra Shatro in Vrittasur context, Indra Shatro, Vivardhaswa. So it has two meanings based on the stress and intonation. Indra Shatro Vivardhaswa, Indra Shatro Vivardhaswa. So where you are giving the stress and intonation, the meaning changes. The enemy of Indra, or Indra the enemy, so the meaning changes based on the stress and intonation. So this is what Prabhupada is saying. I'm happy to learn that you have begun to teach our students Sanskrit pronunciation. Please see that they can pronounce very nicely the Sanskrit verses. Letter 1970. Woman. If you don't pronounce the Sanskrit prayers that are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, if you don't pronounce them properly or Prabhupada, why not? You can pronounce them properly. Everything you can learn, just like I'm speaking in English. English is not my mother language, but I have tried to learn it and I'm doing my business. That's all. Similarly, you can learn any language. You can learn Sanskrit, you can pronounce very nicely. It requires learning, that's all. It was my intention in presenting the books that anyone who would read would learn Sanskrit. This was one of his biggest desire when he left before a few years. Let me see if I have that slide. No. He mentioned somewhere in his last time, he said that I want at least my devotees to learn Bhagavad Gita through Sanskrit. This is my desire, but I would have done myself, but I don't have much time left. So you have the knowledge, you know English, you do it. This Prabhupada instructed to some of his disciples. So keeping that in our mind, we will try our level best to teach Sanskrit to the devotees. Now, Jiva Goswami, who has written Harinamamrita Vyakaranam, Jiva Goswami said, Harinamamrita Vyakaranam, he has mentioned this Ajamilopakyan, 11th canto, Shloka, Sanketyam Parihashyam va, Stobham Avahelanameva va, Vaikuntha Namagrahanam, Ashesha Agharam Viduhu. What he did, there were already many grammars prevailing in Sanskrit. Before Jiva Goswami wrote the grammar Harinamamrita. So there were Saraswat, Kala, Panini, there are many grammars were prevailing. So he himself studied Panini grammar, Astadhyay, and then he wrote this, Jiva Goswami wrote this Harinamamrita Vyakaranam. In the Mangalacharan beginning, he mentioned this sloka from Bhagavatam, where Ajamila calls his son Narayana, and then it's been explained that Sanketyam Parihashyam, in a symbolic way, with disrespect, unconsciously, whatever way, if anyone takes the holy names, what does it happen? what happens? Ashesha agaharam viduhu. Agaha means sin. Many lifetime sins are being burned. So this he mentioned. And what he did, the formulae which were written into grammar, in grammatical way. Say, for example, when some letter is dirgha, like a is short, a is dirgha. E is short, e is dirgha. So instead of hraswa and dirgha, this is the general terminology in all the grammars. We call it hraswa and dirgha. But Jiva Goswami put the name Vamana. Instead of hraswa, short, Vamana avatar, incarnation was very short. So he put the name Vamana and Trivikram. So in this way, he converted the entire grammar, which is being taught outside, in general world. He converted everything by the name of Narayana, Krishna. So while you are reading, then he wrote in Mangalacharan, Harinama Vali Valitam Vyakaranam Vaishnavartha Achinmaha. I have collected this beautiful grammar, which all the terminologies I used by the name of Vishnu, so that when any Vaishnava, if a Vaishnava tries to study grammar, it's a wastage of sadhana. That time they're supposed to do sadhana. But if they study Harinamamrita grammar, they're chanting the holy names along with learning the grammar. So it's one of the most beautiful grammar. He has given some guidelines in terms of pronunciation that we will learn now. See, these are the letters mainly. There are 13 vowels in Sanskrit, 33 consonants, and 2 are ayoga vahaha. So in total, 48 letters are there in Sanskrit. Those who know, it is much easier. Those who doesn't know, they can just browse through it. All the science of the grammar is hidden here. What I'm going to teach you today, show you, if you understand it, the entire grammar is based on that. The Sanskrit grammar is the key. See, the vowels, there are 13 vowels. What are they? A, I, U, Ri, Lri, E, I, O, Au. It seems like it's nothing, right? But this is where most of the devotees, they do mistake while pronouncing. The vowels are so easy, but this is where we do the mistakes. Because when it comes into long E, we are unable to pronounce it. And unless you do this, you cannot put the shloka into meters. If you do this rightly, like dirgha and hraswa, then the shloka will naturally fall into a, this, meters. For example, Shankaracharya wrote one shloka. Bhagavad Gita kinchidadhita Ganga Jallava Kanika Pita Sakradapi Yena Murari Samarcha Priyate Tasya Yamena Nacharcha. So if you do Bhagavad Gita, this is dirghai. If you do this, Bhagavad Gita, Kinchidadhita, again E, that is long. Ganga Jalalav Kanika Pita, again P is long. Sakradapi Yena Murari Samarcha. So the meaning of this is also very interesting. It says that Bhagavad Gita, whosoever has studied Bhagavad Gita, Shankaracharya is saying, just a little bit, one shloka. Maybe he has studied Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya. That's it. Even one charan, there are 4 foot in a shloka, and he has studied one part. Bhagavad Gita Kinchidadita. Ganga Jala Lava Kanika. Lava means single. He has just drunk a single drop of Ganga water in one time in his life. Ganga jalalava kanika apita. Sakrit eva yena murari samarcha. Whosoever has worshipped Murari, Krishna, who has an enemy called Mura. So the enemy of Mura, this is the way in Sanskrit. We name somebody as the enemy of Mura. Kangsari means also Krishna. So whosoever has worshipped Murari once in his life, kriyate tasya yamena nacharacha. Even Yamraj is scared. He never dared to talk about him. So he never goes to the Yamaloka. That's the meaning basically. So let's go ahead. So these are the vowels: a, I, u, ri, ri, e, I, o, au. I'm teaching a very simple process to understand. Generally, the first letter, which is hraswa, short, takes around 1 second time to pronounce. This second one should take 2 seconds. So you can clap like a, I, u, ri. That's the easiest way initially to learn. And if you learn this, you will not have difficulty in pronunciation. How this causes difficulty, that I will show later. Now come to this consonants. Here the science is there. See, ka, kha, ga, gha, nga, cha, cha, ja, jha, nya, ta, tha, da, dha, na, ta, tha, da, dha, na, pa, pha, ba, bha, ma, ya, ra, la, va, sha, sha, sa, ha. See this, from starting from the ka to ma, there are 5 into 5, so 25. These are called a group, varga. These are called the vargiya varnas, vargiya varna. So they come in a group. And with the initial, we name them like ka varga, cha varga, ta varga, ta varga, pa varga. That's it. 5 vargas are there. Now, what happens? This first row perpendicularly and the third row are soft, alpa prana. You need less air to breathe out while pronouncing them. But the second row, from kha to pa and gha to bha, these are maha prana, aspirates. So they require more air. For example, you see, you can put your hand here and you can see, you say ka, you don't feel any air, ka. When you say ka, there's a strong air. If you hold a paper, it will move. Ga is soft, gha, mahapran. Nga, this is nasal. Same. Cha, alpapran. Cha, mahapran. Ja, jha, nya. It's like Y-A-N, nya. And this is nga, N-G-A, you can say. Nga and ya. This is Ganga. You remember one? Ganga. This is nga. And ya, like chanchala, restless. Chanchala, ya. Then come to the third row, ta, tha, da, dha, na. In this way, the first row is soft, the third row is soft. The same thing, ka, if you release more air, it turns into ka. You see, ka, ka. Same thing here. Ga turns into gha when you release more air. You can try it yourself. Ga, gha. And nga, nga. This is kantha as well as nasal. This is called nasal. If you can master this art, then your pronunciation will be immaculately perfect. But it takes time because everyone has their, the tongue is set with your mother tongue, whatever you speak from your childhood. But if you cautiously practice this, whatever I'm teaching today, if someone practices, his pronunciation has to develop. And whenever you mispronounce anything, you can rectify yourself. So similarly, cha, cha, ja, jha, ya are there. Now let's segregate these consonants into their place of pronunciation. This is the only language in the world which says which letter is pronounced from which exact part of the mouth. And there is a chapter in grammar for this, Panini Shiksha. Panini, the writer, author of grammar, he wrote, there is a book called Paniniya Shiksha. There he gives a very beautiful shloka, it just pop up in my mind, that how one should pronounce. Panini is saying, the writer of the grammar, he says, Vyagri yatha haret putram, like a tigress carries its calf from one place to the other. You must have seen the kitten, once they deliver the baby within each 21 days, they shift their homes. So from this sofa to that room, they move it. So the tigress does the same. They hold their tiny baby calves with their ferocious teeth. Vyagriyata harit putram, damstrabhyam na chapidaye. It carries from one place to another place, but that sharp teeth does not cause a little scratch to the calf. Vyagriyata harit putram, damstrabhyam na chapidaye. Bhita patana bhedabhyam, being scared that it should not fall out. So whenever, you will never see that a tigress or a cat carrying someone with its teeth, it never falls down from their teeth. It never happens. But a monkey, when it carries, the child sometimes falls out. Because the monkey, the baby holds the mother, here the mother holds the baby. So whatever, the science is that we also should be careful that I'm not giving too much stress and intonation unnecessarily, neither I'm too slow. So that's the science Panini gave us. Now let's come to this science. The first one, ka, kha, ga, gha, nga. You can see on the left side, it's written, it's called gutturals. You can also write down if you want. Gutturals, that means kantha varna. If you touch here, when you say ka, kha, ga, gha, nga, because this is the part which is functioning. Here the mouth is more or less inactive. The tongue is a little bit moving, but the main function is here. That's why these are called kantha varna, gutturals, because it's pronounced from the kantha. Now come to the next one. Cha, cha, ja, jha, nya. This is the soft palate, which is just the gum above the teeth. You see, you say cha, cha, the part, the tip of the tongue touches, that is soft palate. And in Sanskrit, it is called talu. So the letters pronounced with the help of the talu are called talavya. Okay, this is a tadit, like the son of Kunti is called Kaunteya. So talu, from talu, talabya. From kantha, kanthya. Cha, cha, ja, ja, ya. This we learn. So this is talabya varna, soft palate, palatals. Then comes ta, tha, da, dha, na. This is hard palate, retroflex. The tongue goes upwards. It touches the murdha inside. And this is where many people, especially English-speaking people, has difficulty in pronouncing. Okay. Ta, tha, da, dha, na. Ta, tha. Then comes ta. See, there is a very subtle difference, and especially English-speaking people cannot pronounce this one, ta, tha, because it does not exist in English. These are called, so this is cerebrals, ta, tha, da, dha, na, that we have explained. Now come to the fourth row. This is dental. The tip of the tongue will touch the teeth. Say ta. My name is Tulsi Wallab. Ta. The tip of the tongue touches the teeth. Ta. Tha. The same ta, you release more air, it turns tha naturally. If you understand the science, it's not difficult. Ta, say tha. Now you say tithi. Tithi. Okay. This is very difficult to pronounce, ta, tha, especially for, non-Hindi speaking people or the English speaking people. Ta, tha. So Shankaracharya has a beautiful sloka which has ta and tha many times. Yada tada, yatha tatha, tathaiva Krishna sat katha, maya sadaiva giyatam, tatha kripa vidhiyatam. Oh my Lord, bestow me such mercy that yada tada yatha tatha, wherever I am and in whatever condition, whatever may be the time and place and circumstances, yada tada yatha tatha, here and there, tathaiva Krishna sat katha, maya sadaiva giyata, may I always sing the glories of Krishna, tatha kripa vidhiyatam. Bestow your mercy in such a way that wherever I am, in whatever condition, I'm always singing the glories of Krishna. So yatha tatha. You can say easily, like we say Ekadashi tithi. Tithi. It's not tithi. It's tithi. Okay, tithi. Ta and tha. Then you see da. Da is neither ta, neither ta. This is da. Da. Ta, tha, da. See, just above da, there is da, which is hard palate, retroflex. And this is da, dental. Unless someone understands this, they cannot differentiate between da, damru, and da, dinana. It's not dinana, it's dinana. Dinana. You focus on keeping your tongue to the teeth. Dinana. And when you say damru, Lord Shiva's, damru, da, retroflex, the tongue goes high up, damru. Okay, so come to da, ta, tha, tithi, da, dinana. Always remember one example, then you will never fail. Dha, dha, dha. Dha is also da, you release more air, it naturally turns into dha. Dha, dhira, dhira Krishna. Okay. Shankhan dadhmo, dadhmo prathak prathak, dadhmu, da and dha. In this word, dadhmu, Shankhan dadhmo prathak prathak. Everyone blew their conches separately. There is a sloka in Bhagavad Gita. Da and dha, both comes there. Dadhi, simple word, dadhi. Dadhi means yogurt. So dadhi. Then na. This na is Dantyana, that means dental. See, the Dantya word and dental word are very close, right? Dantya and dental. So it somehow came from Sanskrit. Then it comes, so we understood. Just see na, where we end. Above that, there is hana, right? Ganesh, we say Ganesh. This hana is hard palate. When you say Ganesh and Naveen, these are not the same. Ganesh is the tongue goes up and you say Ganesh. You say Ganesh. When you say Naveen, na, dental. The tip of the tongue touches the, but it's nasal as well as dental. Then come to the fifth row. Pa, pa, ba, bha, ma. Here, this is labial, purely labials. The adhara and ostha, the upper lips, lip and the lower lip touches. There is no other things here. And the throat will definitely. So pa, pa. When you say phalam, fruits, it's not the English fa word like phalam. It's not phalam, it's phalam. Okay, phalam. If you see like old generation in India, now due to English, we also say phalam, but it's not phalam, it's phalam, because it says Oshthavarna. The upper lip and lower lip has to touch. Pa, pa, ba, bha, ma. Right. So this is labial, it's very simple. So these are the main categories. First one is Kantya from the throat, I'm repeating. Second row is soft palate, the gum inside. Third one is retroflex, the top of the murdha, it's called murdha. Ta, tha, da, dharna. Then dental, ta, tha, da, dha, na. Then labials, pa, pha, ba, bha, ma. If you know these 5 things, you will barely have mistakes in pronunciation. Okay, so these things you keep in mind, or you can write down the names that will help you. Now come to the 6th row. See, this last 3 rows, they are not called Vargiya because they don't fall into the group. See, they have 4 letters, some 3 letter, one has 1 letter. So they don't come into the group. That's why they are called Avargiya Varna. Okay, Avargiya. Naitat Purush Samas. Na Vargiya, Avargiya. Okay. Ya, Ra, La, Va. These are again called Antastha Varna. Yara, Lava, these are called Antastha. These are more close to the vowels because they are the combination of 2 vowels actually. That whosoever will study grammar will go deep into that. Anyway, Yara, Lava, these are very simple. Anyone can pronounce it. Then the 7th row is the difficult one. Okay, here many people does mistake. First one is Sha, Shiva, Shiva. This is again the Sha individually is connected to the 2nd row where we say cha cha ja ja ya. Cha cha ja ja ya, these are soft palate. And this Sha, Shiva wala Sha is soft palate. Okay, this you can mark it also. The Sha is Talavya, Shiva, Shankara, Shambhu. This is Talavya Sha. Then comes Murdhanya Sha. The name itself says, see, in Sanskrit, we say Talavya. That means soft palate. Palatal Sha is Shiva. Now we are calling it Murdhanya Sha. Murdha means hard palate, retroflex. Murdhanya Sha, like Krishna. What do you say? Krishna, Krishna is not right. Krishna, Krishna, Murdhanya Sha. Vishnu, okay, Trishna, Sha. So the tongue will go high up and touch the Murdha. Then comes Sa. This is dental again. Which one was dental? See the fourth row, ta, tha, da, dha, na, and sa. So when the conjoint letter happens, which we call in grammar sandhi, then this sa is mostly connected with this ta, tha, da, dha, na group. For example, tasya, right? Tasya. So ta is dental and this sa is also dental. When you say Krishna, we say kri, ri. This ri, also the vowels are segregated. I did not do that because in the first class it will be too difficult for the newcomers. This ri is also hard palate. So because this ri came, which belongs to the hard palate family, so this sha is used, which is also hard palate family. Krishna, Vishnu, Krishna. And ha is simple, aspirate. So this is the basic science of the letters. If someone understands it, I mean, if you practice 1 or 2 times, it's very easy to understand. It's nothing very difficult. Now I'll go to the slideshow. You can see here, palatal, sounded at the hard palate at the roof of the mouth. Palate is just, should be number, yeah, there is a mistake actually. I mean, this number 4 should be the place of the palate. Okay, number 4. Then comes retroflex. This should be number 3, yes. Here, when the tip of the tongue rotates and touches here, what are the letters? Ta, tha, da, dha, na. And this is written in the Paniniya Shiksha, in the grammar books. Which letter will be pronounced in which way? This is Sanskrit. Then comes under the back of the upper front teeth. Sorry. Dental. So tip of the tongue touches the teeth. What are they? Ta, pa, da, dha, na. You remember one example, tithi. Okay. Then you will not forget. Labial, with the lips. What are the letters? Pa, pa, ba, bha, ma. Okay. These are labials. Pratipadam purnam mrta swadanam. Pa. There is a, by Bharevi, he wrote one, I will just tell you a beautiful story. Bharevi, he wrote one story called Veni Samhar, I mean the novel in Sanskrit. There's a story like some king goes to the forest and he meets one like a hunter. I mean, he collects woods, a woodcutter into the forest, or hunter, something like that. So because they hunt, they fall from the tree, they jump and stuff. So what happens? His lips were totally cut. You understand? He got totally cut and he lives in the forest. So when he met him, he felt very sad and he saw that he cannot pronounce properly. So in that entire conversation, he did not use a single labial word, labial letter in the entire conversation, so that the hunter does not have to use any pa, pa, ba, bha, ma, because he cannot pronounce it. Such a degree of respect, and such a beautiful author, Bharevi, wrote it. You understand? So that is Sanskrit. So labials are with the lips. If someone has any problem in the lips, they won't be able to pronounce it properly. So here we have segregated, and it's more clear to understand those who are seeing for the first time. Ka, ka. You release more air. Say ka. If you're able to say ka, you can say ka. This is where many people has difficulty. You know, ka. What is kagendra? Isn't it kagendra? It's not ka, it's ka. Okay. And you remember just the simple trick, you release more air. When it comes to the second row and the fourth row, the same thing converts into this with the more emphasis, more release of air. Say ka, 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 ka. You hold your hand, put your hand here. Say ka, ka. You can feel the air. That's it. You say ga, ga. And the sound comes from the navel. That's why Sanskrit is a pranayama. Those people who speak in Sanskrit, ये जनाः सर्वदैव संस्कृतेन संभाषणं कुर्वन्ति वार्तालापं कुर्वन्ति ते अस्वस्थाः न भवन्ति यतो हि संस्कृत कथनेन प्राणायामो भवति. The people who speak in Sanskrit, their digestive tract, their brain, everything becomes very sharp because it's a natural process which oxidizes the blood. You see this grammar, the science, then you will naturally understand. Ga, gha, nga. This is difficult letter for the first learners. Nga. In this case, you just say ganga. In between whatever you say, gang, that's nga. Nga. Okay, nga, ganga. It is not difficult because it is never pronounced alone. It is always coming with some other letter. So mangalam, anybody can pronounce. It is more like ngang, and then ha. We have segregated it as per their pronunciation. Uchcharana sthanam. Ka, kha, ga, gha, nga, and ha. There is single family. We did not include the vowels. Okay, the vowels a and a falls into this family actually. A, ka, kha, ga, gha, nga, and ha. So 5 plus 1, 6 plus 2, 8. These 8 letters falls into this Kanthya family, Kanthya Varna. Okay, I have a few minutes left. Then cha, cha, ja, jha, nya, ya, and sha. And from vowels, we will take e, shorty, e, and e, ishwaraha. These 2 letters from vowel, we will add with it, which I did not here. Cha, cha, ja, jha, nya, ya, and sha. Right? So this is also 8 letters, which falls into this category called palatals or Talabhya Varna. Talabhya Varna. Then comes retroflex, hard palate, which is called Murdhanya. Ta, tha. You just twist the tongue to the up. Ta, tha. Da, dha. Na, ra, sha. Okay? Ra, sha. These are all in the same family. And when they come into sandhi, like conjoint letters, they mostly come with each other. That's why this segregation has been done. Then comes dentals. This is very simple. Ta, tha, da, dha, na, la, sa. So basically, when you say ta, tha, it's just like biting the tip of the tongue between the 2 teeth. You see, ta, tha, da, dha, na, la, sa, sita. Labials. This is only 5. Pa, pa, ba, bha, ma. Guttural, palatals, retroflex, dental, labials. Okay. And then the rest I did not put here. It will be difficult initially. So that's all in this Hare Krishna. You can see here. Oh, sorry. This is guttural, ha and a. Those are gutturals. Re is hard palate. E is talu. Krishna, similarly, guttural, retroflex, and guttural. Okay. Rama. retroflex, guttural, labial, guttural. Okay, if you understand the chart, you can do it by yourself. And while you are reading, definitely see Ram. You have to say like that. Okay, Ram, Ram, Ah. As much time you say to say Ah, you should take double of that time to pronounce Ah. Ekamatra bhaved hrasvo, Jiva Goswami says. Ekamatra bhaved hrasvo, Dvimatro dirgha uchyate. Trimatrastu pluto gyo, Kukkuta ruto, Aditrayasha Kukkuta ruto, iti kramena prasiddhihi. Jiva Goswami says, see how beautifully he has explained, that Ekamatra bhaved hrasvo, one note of sound, Ah. Rama, A is there, inherent A is there. With Ma, with each, no consonant can be pronounced without the help of the vowels. That's why in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Aksharanam akaroyam. So here says Rama, A. Yes. So, Ekamatra bhaved hrasva. When we take one note time, that is hrasva, short, Dvimatro dirgha uchyate. And when you take double of that time, Ah, it should not be shorter, it should not be very Ah, you cannot say. Ah, Ah, E, U, U. And then Trimatrastu plutogyo. Anything more than that, that is pluta. Like Bho Ramaha Atra Agacha. Re Sakhi. Like this, these are pluta. Anything more than Dvimatra is called pluta. And then Jiva Goswami says, Aditrayasya Kukkuta ruto iti kramena prasiddhi. Kukkuta means chicken. So the way the chicken sounds in the morning, kuk, kukruk, koo. Same theory has been applied here. Ekamatro bhavedharasvo dvimatro dirgha uchyate trimatrastu pluto gyo aditrayasya kukkuta ruto kramena prasiddhi. Bhavatu. This, I think all of you can chant very nicely. Okay, Namo Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin iti namine. Namaste Saraswati. This is Saraswati, Bhakti Vedanta Saraswati, his disciple. So Saraswati, somebody says Saraswati. Saraswati Devi is not here. Saraswati, Deve, Gauravani, Pracharine, Nirvishesha, Shunyavadi. See this Shesha, this is Talavyasha, and this is Murdhanyasha, Shesha, Shunyavadi, Paschatya. Look here, the conjoint letter. Sha and Cha, Paschatya, they falls into the same family, in the Talavya family, soft palate family. So they are conjoined together. Okay, you see in the first line, Krishna Prishthaya, Murdhanya Sha and Tha, they fall in the same family, hard palate. You understand? Namaste Saraswati. See, Namaste, Sa and Ta, they're both dental. That scientific Sanskrit is Saraswati. Deve Gauravani Pracharine. I don't have time, otherwise I would have explained more. Anyway, Suryaha, you can pronounce with me, Chandraha. Here this is Visarga. When there is Visarga, suppose this word ends with Surya, Ah. So we will say Ah. If it is ends with A, suppose Balika, and there is two dots, then we'll say Balikaha. So whatever vowel it ends with, we will add that with the Visarga, which is A. So Shambhuhu, U, Shambhuhu, E, Harihi. Okay? A, Balikaha. So if it is A, Aha, E, Ihi, U, Uhu. Okay? Chandraha, Samudraha, Akashaha, Jalaprapataha, Pushpam. See, there is a underline below Ma. That is called Halanta. You can take it as a minus sign. What is minus from here? A is not present. We took out the A. If A was there, we would have said Pushpama. But because we took out the A, then we put the sign called Halanta. Then we will say Pushpam. Pushpam. Okay, Pushpam. It's not Pushpama. Tarangaha. See, Nga and Ga, they fall into the same family. Ka, Ka, Ga, Gha, Nga. It's a guttural. Tarangaha. Nga, Ga, so Gaha. Tarangaha. Here, A. Meghaha. Meghaha. And there are other words. Dwaram, Rangavalli, Padakataha, Pradhana Kakshaha, Javanika, Paryankaha, Talpaha, Upadhanam, etc. Pakashala, Bhojana Pitham, etc. One more thing I will say and then I will end. See, in Sanskrit, there is a word, a sentence here, Krishnaha Brahmanaya Hastena Gam Dadati. You can understand the meaning, right? Krishnaha Brahmanaya Hastena Gam Dadati. Krishna is giving a cow to a Brahmana with his hand. Now, the amazing fact with Sanskrit is that you can put anything anywhere. For example, I say Krishnaha Dadati Brahmanaya Gam Hastena. It has the same meaning. Krishnaha Hastena Brahmanaya Dadati Gam. Dadati Krishnaha Hastena Gam Brahmanaya. Brahmanaya Gam Hastena Dadati Krishnaha. But you cannot do this in any other language of the world. Imagine how scientifically, and the meaning does not change. That's another very great fact. See in English, Krishna is giving a cow to a Brahmana with his hand. Hand is giving a cow. Can you change anything? You cannot change. So what happens in the shloka, this I just took a glimpse. In the shloka, what happens? It's written in that order. That's why we have difficulty. So what we do, as soon we see the shloka, we convert it from poetry form to a prose form. That is called Anvaya. That's why Prabhupada has done Padacheda. You know, above the purport, he has done Padacheda. So when you know a little bit grammar, you can understand. So Sanskrit is the only language you can change the order, but the meaning does never change. Krishnaha Dadati Brahmanaya Gam Hastena, Hastena Dadati Gam Brahmanaya Krishnaha, Dadati Krishnaha Brahmanaya Gam Hastena. Anything you say, it comes exactly the same meaning. Imagine, that's why it's called Deva Bhasha. Anyway, here the slide ends. So my time is also over, and I'd like to finish here. So Patatu Samskritam, Vadatu Samskritam, Lasatu Samskritam, Chiram Grihe Grihe Cha Punarapi. Thank you very much for giving me this wonderful opportunity and to interact with the devotees. Now it's over.
Tulsi Wallab for that insightful workshop on Sanskrit pronunciation. I really got a lot out of that, and I hope everybody else did too, to help us go deeper in our japa, in our spiritual life. And talking of japa, next we have is the Japa Retreat. And the Japa Retreat today is with His Grace Atul Krishna Prabhu. Atul Krishna Prabhu is an amazing devotee. He started his spiritual life in Mumbai when he joined university at Mumbai University itself. And then after finishing, he decided that he wanted to become a monk. He wanted to become a brahmachari, and he joined ISKCON Mumbai, which was wow. And even to today, he has now moved to ISKCON Greater Noida, where he looks after the temple there, spreading the message of the scriptures for the last 18 years. He also teaches Bhakti Shastri and ISKCON disciple course to various places, including to VIHE, the Vrindavan Institute of Higher Education, and is known for his Mahabharata and Ramayana discourses. And you can find him online. He is actually right now giving lectures on the Bhagavatam. He's trying to record the whole Bhagavatam. He's got to Canto 9. And you can find his lectures on iskondesiretree.com or even on YouTube. Just search his name out and you will find it. And he doesn't just do it for devotees. He's also giving classes for anybody who's new to Krishna consciousness, including colleges and companies. And he does this as a service to Lord Krishna and to humanity at large. So please, everybody, let's welcome him and let's learn from him on this amazing Japa retreat. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, Maharaj.
Yes, Maharaj.
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you. Om Jnanatimmirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Supadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utpadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahkana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sachivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna. Just a humble request to all of you, those of you can keep your videos on, I'll be very happy to see all of you. It gives a lot of encouragement to have darshan of the Vaishnavas. So thank you very much for giving your darshan. And those of you who have kept it off, thank you very much for keeping the video off. I know you must be in a different world, maybe associating with Krishna, having some personal talk with Krishna, so you don't want to get disturbed. That's fine, that's understandable. Hare Krishna. So World Holy Name Festival ki jai. These are wonderful festivals which we are celebrating for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada, for the pleasure of Parampara, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Krishna. And that's why we should enthusiastically participate in such festivals. So today we will speak something about the chanting of the holy name, since this is Holy Name Festival. And then we will chant one round together. And then you may have any questions. So we will have question and answer session. That's how this next 1 hour we are going to spend. So when we talk of the holy name, of course, we have heard so much from the time we joined ISKCON about the holy name. Now, holy name, it said, one of the very prominent verses of Srimad Bhagavatam is, of course, about holy name, we know. But also in other literature, it is said, Vede Ramayane Chaiva Purane Bharate Tatha Adavanto Cha Madhye Cha Harihi Sarvatra Giyate. So it said that whether you take Vedas, Vede, or you take Ramayana, or any Puranas, or Mahabharata, so wherever you see, whichever scripture you take, Vede Ramayane Chaiva Purane Bharate Tatha Adavanto Cha Madhye Cha, In the beginning, in the end, and in the middle, Harihi Sarvatra Giyate. There is only glorification of Lord Hari in the form of holy name. When Lord Chaitanya came, if we see about the philosophy Lord Chaitanya gave, we can understand that he gave a lot of importance to Srimad Bhagavatam. We know that famous verse, Aradhya Bhagavan Vrajesh Tanaya Tadham Vrindavanam Ramya Kachidupasana Vrajavadhu Vargenaya Kalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanamamalam Prema Pumartho Maha Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matamidam Tatra Darahana Paraha. What is said in this? The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. And what is philosophy of Krishna consciousness? Aradhya Bhagavan Brajesh Tanayas Tadhama Vrindavanam. That the supreme worshipable object is Lord Krishna, at the same time his Dham, Vrindavan. And how do we worship him? Ramya Kachidupasana, Brajavadhu. How the gopis, the Brajavadhus, how they worshipped. We just follow on their path. And where is this available? Where is this path available? Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam. Srimad Bhagavatam speaks about it. And what is Srimad Bhagavatam giving? Prema Pumartho Mahan, the ultimate result of devotion, the love of Godhead. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matamidam. Whose opinion is this? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's. So Srimad Bhagavatam is considered as Amala Purana. And Srimad Bhagavatam has 12 cantos, we all know, 335 chapters. And in each canto, the holy name is glorified. Each canto. Start from the first canto, second canto, third canto, fourth canto, wherever you see, the holy name is glorified till the end. Like the first canto, first chapter itself, of course, it begins with Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. But the first chapter itself glorifies Apanna Samsritam Ghoram Yannama Vivashogranam. That if those living entities who are entangled in this birth and death can be freed immediately by even unconsciously, Vivashogranam, by unconsciously chanting the holy name of Krishna, which is feared by fear personified. That's first canto. Go to the second canto. Second canto also, the very first chapter in second canto speaks about Etan Nirvidyamananam Ichchatam Akuto Bhayam. That those who are chanting, if you're constantly chanting the holy name of the Lord, then it is fearless way for success. You can be free from all material desires if you're chanting the holy name. Go to the third canto. Mother Devahuti says, Aho Vatsu Pacho Sagariyan. She says that how glorious are those whose tongues are chanting the holy name. Even if someone is born in the families of dog eaters, Shopacha, such persons become worshipable. Why? Because they're chanting the holy name of the Lord. It's third canto. Go to the fourth canto. Fourth canto says that Lord is present among devotees. And who are the devotees? They are engaged in hearing and chanting of the holy name of the Lord. And wonderfully it is mentioned that for the sannyasis, Lord Narayan is the ultimate goal. And how do they worship Lord Narayan? It is said they worship Lord Narayan through this Sankirtan movement, by chanting of the holy name again and again. Fifth canto, very nicely it is mentioned that even if someone is distressed or degraded, but if he chants the holy name of the Lord, he is immediately purified. And there it is said that even if you chant jokingly or by chance, you will be freed. This is Bhagavatam. The 6th canto says that it is not possible for anyone to remain contaminated if he sees Krishna. And then he says, what to talk of seeing you personally, just by hearing your holy name, even once. Someone who's like a chandal, lowest of the man, he will be freed from all material contamination. Just imagine the power of holy name. We have come up to 6th canto of Bhagavatam. There are 12 cantos. And 7th canto describes the process of chanting of holy name is very powerful. And it says even a grihastha who's engaged in household activity can very easily gain the ultimate result, which is received by those who are sannyasis, just by chanting the holy name. The 8th canto describes that when we are chanting, there may be discrepancies in pronouncing the mantras. Right? We were just having the class, Sanskrit Pronunciation. So even if there are discrepancies, of course, we should try our best to chant perfectly. Because if you love Krishna, then you would like to take his name properly, perfectly. But even if there are discrepancies in pronouncing the mantras, but if you chant the holy name of the Lord, any mantra which you have, having the discrepancies, you pronounced it in a wrong way, but if you chant the holy name of the Lord, everything becomes faultless. And this is told by Shukracharya. And when you come to 9th canto, very nicely it is said, Yannam Shruti Matrena Puman Bhavati Nirmalaha. That just by hearing the holy name of the Lord, Puman Bhavati Nirmalaha, person becomes purified. And then what is impossible for the servants of the Lord? That means for the servant of the Lord, nothing is impossible. Why? Just by hearing the holy name, everything becomes purified. Then we come to the 10th canto. Everywhere Krishna is glorified in 10th canto. The whole 10th canto is glorifying Krishna. It is said in the 10th canto, very beginning, the 2nd chapter says that if you are engaged in various activities, devotee's mind is always engaged in lotus feet of the Lord. And if he is chanting the holy name of the Lord, he is always on the transcendental platform if he is constantly chanting the holy name of the Lord. Okay, we have only 2 cantos remaining. 10 cantos, we have seen every canto glorifying the holy name. What is mentioned in 11th canto? 11th canto mentions about merciful nature of the Lord. It says Lord is very merciful to the conditioned soul. Why? If the conditioned souls call upon Krishna by speaking his holy name, unintentionally, unwillingly, that you are calling Krishna, it's not that willingly you are calling. It's not that your intention is Krishna, I seek your mercy. You're just calling Krishna, unwillingly, unintentionally. Even then, Lord is inclined to destroy innumerable sinful reaction in your heart. So it is said, when a devotee takes shelter of the Lord's lotus feet by chanting the holy name of Krishna, he receives the genuine love. And Krishna enters his heart. It is said that Krishna can never give up the heart of such a devotee who's constantly chanting the holy name of the Lord. Power of chanting holy name. You can capture Krishna in your heart. And of course, we know the 12th canto, the final verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, having 18,000 verses. And the final verse speaks about Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranamo Dukkha Shamanas Tam Namani Harim Param. It says Nama Sankirtanam. So it's Pranamo Dukkha Shamanas, offering my obeisances unto the Supreme Lord. congregational chanting of whose holy name destroys all sinful reactions. So that's the holy name of Krishna. So you see, the whole Bhagavatam is speaking about the chanting of the holy name from beginning to end. That's why it is called Amal Puran. Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam. So it is an Amal Puran because it's speaking about Lord Krishna and the chanting of the holy name. Now, when we are chanting the holy name, I am sure many of you may have experienced that while chanting, many times our attention gets diverted. Or rather, I should say, it's only sometimes that we are able to focus on the holy name. So our attention keeps getting diverted. And then sometimes it just happens that we don't even know we are chanting and then we don't even remember Krishna. So what is it? And are we going to achieve something out of it? We have just heard the glories of holy name in Srimad Bhagavatam. So then we should become very serious. Let me give you an example. When you are flying in a plane, I'm sure when we sit inside the plane, we don't realize what's happening. Especially if it's a long distance flight, then you just sleep or eat or read. But what is happening with the plane, we are not aware of it. What is happening with the plane? Actually, plane is supposed to go in a fixed direction with a fixed speed, right? But if you know any of the pilots, you can ask them that plane often gets diverted. Or rather, I should say 90% of the time it is diverted. It doesn't go because of the wind, because of the climatic conditions. The plane keeps getting diverted each time. So what do? The duty of the pilot is to keep reorienting it, bringing it back on the track. That's what pilot keeps doing it. Or maybe the autopilot system or the pilots, they do that. They bring it back. Then again it goes. You see, it's like plane is going in this direction and due to the wind, it changes the direction and it starts going in this direction. Again, it has to be brought to this thing. Then again it goes, then again. It's like this. So it keeps getting diverted, but eventually it gets to the destination. How is it? If it is getting diverted, how it goes to the destination properly? Because pilots keep bringing it back to the path. And this is how our chanting should be. We keep getting diverted. We keep hearing something. We keep thinking about something. Mind goes here and there. And what is the duty of a sadhaka or all of our devotees? The duty of a devotee is bring it back. Make it again back to the track, back to the track. So if you keep struggling like this, as the plane which keeps getting diverted but comes back and eventually lands at the right place, if you keep struggling, keep bringing your mind back to the track, eventually your mind will be in the lotus feet of Krishna. And this is the path of bhakti. To bring our consciousness to Krishna. Trying to connect our consciousness to Krishna. Chanting is actually direct experience of Krishna. Those of us who are very serious in devotional life, they can experience. When they associate with the devotees of the Lord, it is like direct experience of Krishna. When you take prasadam, it is direct experience of Krishna. When you serve the deity, it's direct experience of Krishna. Similarly, when you chant the holy name, it is directly experiencing Krishna in your heart. That is chanting. And that's why one should be very, very sincere when we are chanting, when we are doing our japa. Now I'm saying all this, please remember And after some time, we are going to chant. So when we chant, you remember all these things about the holy name, what we heard in Srimad Bhagavatam, about the plane, about the connection, and what else we should remember when we are chanting. I'll tell you a few things. First thing is that remember, Maha Mantra is a prayer. Don't forget this. Don't make your chanting mechanical. It's a prayer. So you should remember the meaning of the prayer. What is the meaning of the prayer? This Maha Mantra, O Srimati Radharani, please engage me in the service of the Lord. Remember the meaning of the prayer. And offer this prayer in a very prayerful mood to Krishna or to Srimati Radharani. And by that, if you remember that it is a prayer, if you offer this prayer in a very prayerful mood, you will establish a connection between you and Krishna. A very, very personal experience. You have a communication, connection. Because you're praying to Krishna, you're praying to Radharani. It's a prayer. So while chanting, understand, always remember that this is a prayer. Second thing, what should be our mood while chanting? A mood of dependence. A helpless way, like, a devotee should feel, I'm completely helpless, I'm completely dependent on Krishna. I need his mercy. I'm dependent on the holy name. Like when you have something in your hand and you know this is required for your dependence, you're completely dependent on that. How will you take it? You have a heart attack and the doctor comes and gives you a small pill. Just keep it below your tongue and you will be all right. How you know that you are dependent completely on that small pill, small tablet? How will you take it? Will you be careless? Similarly, we should understand that all of us, we are completely dependent on this holy name. So when we are chanting the holy name, be in this mood of helplessness. That this is the only thing which can save me. To understand it's a prayer, be completely dependent that this is what is going to save me. And then be very humble. Humble and respectful towards the holy name. For example, when we go to take darshan in the temple, what do? You enter the temple, you take out your shoes, you bow down, and then you go and wait for the Lord's darshan, and the darshan opens, then you again pay obeisances, and then very humbly you stand in front of the Lord, seeing the form of the Lord. The same respect and reverence should be given to the holy name. Don't do that. To the deity we may give, but when it comes to chanting the holy name, we don't give that respect and all. No, give that. Be in that humble mood. And then, while chanting, understand. Many times, devotees feel that seva and sadhana, seva and chanting is different. No, chanting is also a seva. It's a service. In fact, chanting is one of the best services you can offer to the Lord. So chanting should be performed in a serving mood, that you are serving the holy name by uttering it, by pronouncing it correctly. You are serving, like you're serving Krishna. How careful you will be. So it's a service. Understanding that Krishna is our master. We are not master of Krishna. Now, how can you become servant of the holy name? Srila Prabhupada says, by two ways you serve the holy name. One, with the tongue by chanting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It's one way is by chanting, and other is by propagating it all over the world. So you want to serve the holy name, you chant and you propagate. So this is how we serve. So be in a mood of serving the holy name. And very important mood to develop while chanting is gratitude. Be thankful to the Lord for the mercy that He is bestowing upon us in the form of this holy name. Be very grateful. You see the mercy of the Lord, and especially the holy name. When we go out, especially when you go out for the Harinam, and not just in India, maybe outside India, some of the countries, you see people are sitting in a restaurant, eating and drinking. But when the devotees go, devotees they pass, or devotees just go and request them, okay, chant Hare Krishna, chant Hare Krishna. So you can see some of them, they're eating, non-veg, etc. They're eating, or some of them have, maybe liquor in their hand. But when they look at the devotees, yes, they chant Hare Krishna. How merciful the holy name is. You can't expect a person to have a bottle of beer in his hand and do the deity worship. But here is the holy name. Even if a person is in such a condition, holy name manifests on his tongue. This is holy name, most merciful. And we can take holy name anywhere. You can't read Bhagavatam everywhere. You can't take Bhagavatam in washroom and read it. You can't take Shaligram somewhere and do the worship. You can't do Yagya everywhere. But you can chant the holy name anywhere. This is mercy. When we think about Ramayana, we think about Lord Ramachandra, who was very, very merciful. So Lord Ramachandra, he delivered one stone. We all know this, Ahilya. So he went, Ahilya was in the form of the stone. He touched by his lotus feet and she was delivered. So he delivered one stone. But look at the holy name. It is said that the holy name of the Lord is more merciful than the Lord himself. Because he has given all his powers in that. Namna Makari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shakti. So Lord Ram delivered only one stone. But the holy name is delivering millions of stones. How? Here, we have the stone. Our heart is like a stone. And the holy name is delivering all such stones throughout the world. That is the power of holy name. Or if we see that Lord Ramachandra, he made a bridge on the ocean. So he had all the stones, and then with that the ocean was made, and then he crossed over the ocean. But what is holy name doing? Holy name is so powerful that holy name is not making any bridge. Is not building any bridge. Then what is holy name doing? Holy name is drying up the whole ocean of miseries for us. No question, no need of bridge. When the whole ocean is dried up, just walk across the thing and reach the spiritual world. So easy. That is the mercy of the holy name. So this we need to understand while chanting. Be very grateful by remembering all this, that how merciful the holy name is. And then while chanting, we should be very tolerant. What are we going to tolerate while chanting? We should tolerate all the obstacles, all the difficulties that mind is giving it to us. We may not have the taste for chanting. We may find chanting very difficult to follow, very hard to follow. But all such discomforts should be tolerated for Krishna's satisfaction. Be very tolerant while chanting. Let the mind trouble, no problem. We continue chanting. I'm not going to give up chanting. Let the mind say anything. And if you be tolerant, then you will develop patience. Because it takes a lot of time before you get to a better chanting. Please understand that we are eternal. Why do you say that I've been chanting for 5 years, but I'm having tears in my eyes? I'm not getting taste in chanting. It's just 5 years. We are eternal. Please understand one thing very clearly. Bhakti is not part of our life. So we understand, oh, everything is part of our life. Bhakti is part of my life. No, this life is part of bhakti because bhakti is eternal and this life is very insignificant part in that eternal life of bhakti. So that is why do not panic. Please be patient. Continue chanting the name with a lot of faith. But yes, one day Krishna will shower his mercy. And become very determined. Never be discouraged while chanting. Always continue with determination because Krishna has guaranteed success. So success will come ultimately if you're chanting the holy name of the Lord. That's why be always determined. And remember the importance of chanting. Always remember that it is essential. Prabhupada says that if you're chanting names, 99% of your success is on chanting the holy name. So with this faith, we should cultivate faith in holy name. Put our whole trust in it. You see, we put our trust in so many things. We put our trust while we are just going in the plane. We put our trust in the pilot. We don't go to the cockpit and ask him, okay, show me your license, show me how many hours of flying you have. We just put our trust. We just enter and we just sit. We are giving our life in his hand. Or any other thing. You go to the doctor. He is giving you some injection and you're very happy. Yes. So when you can put faith in a pilot, you can put your faith in a doctor, you can put your faith in a driver. Why not put your faith in Krishna, the holy name of Krishna? So you should have full faith. And with that faith, ask Krishna, please allow me to enter into the inner realization of chanting the holy name. And then Krishna will. So we should chant very nicely, and when some of the things we should keep in mind. First of all, always chant the Panchatattva mantra before chanting the holy name. Prabhupada writes in Chaitanya Charitamrita, we should chant the Panchatattva mantra. Second thing, chant all the time. If you want to improve your chanting, start chanting all the time. There's a very nice pastime in Leela. One day, Wallab Bhatt, he was talking to Advaita Acharya. And he said to Advaita Acharya, you see, every living entity is Prakriti, female. And Krishna is husband, it's Pati, isn't it? Yes, that's correct. We are all Prakriti, Krishna is the husband. He said it is the duty of chaste wife not to take the name of the husband. But all of you are chanting the name of Krishna. So what kind of religious principle is this? What kind of religious principle you are following? You say that Krishna is our husband. Yes, he is Pati. And then you are a Prakriti, you are female, you are considering Krishna to be the master, the husband. Why are you taking the name? Advaita Acharya was there. And of course, he could have answered, but it was Wallab Bhatt. So out of respect, Advaita Acharya said, oh, here is Lord Chaitanya. So he knows everything. Ask him, he will give you the answer. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to Vallabh Bhatt that let me tell you what is the duty of a chaste woman. So first duty of a chaste woman is to carry out the order of her husband. Isn't it? Vallabh Bhatt said, yes, a chaste woman will carry out the order of her husband. I said, thank you. Order of Krishna is to chant his name. Therefore, if you are a chaste wife, you should chant the name of Krishna. You see, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu turned it completely. He said, you cannot deny. That means if you are not chanting the name of Krishna, if you are not chanting the holy name, you are not actually a chaste wife. So Vallabh said, yeah, that's true. And that time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, a devotee of Lord Krishna always chants the holy name. And as a result of this, he gets the fruit, ecstatic love for Krishna. So Mahaprabhu clearly said, he always chants. So we should be very careful to see whether our time is being spent unnecessarily. We should ask ourselves, am I engaged now in Maya's service or Krishna's service? Every time you're sitting, you're doing something, ask, what am I doing? Am I serving Maya or I'm serving Krishna? This is a symptom of an advanced devotee. Nam Gane Sadaruchi. Nam Gane Sadaruchi means always he's chanting and he's very eager to chant. And such a devotee is never tired of chanting, singing or dancing. That's his love. So chant the Panchatattva mantra, chant all the time. Try to chant in the morning. That's the best time. Of course, we can chant anytime, Smarane Nakala, but try to chant in the morning and chant at least 16 rounds, at least. Because this is amongst all the regulative principles given by spiritual master. His order to chant 16 rounds is the most important. Somebody was saying that once in London, a devotee, he managed to chant only 15 rounds. And it was late evening and then he went to sleep because he was very tired. So he was sleeping, he heard the bell ringing. So he came downstairs, he opened the door and there was Prabhupada standing. And Prabhupada said, have you chanted your 16 rounds? So this devotee couldn't answer anything. So before he could answer, he woke up. And then he realized he was seeing a dream. Prabhupada had come into his dream when he had not chanted the 16 rounds. So we should chant 16. Actually 16, we should chant 64 rounds. Prabhupada writes in Nectar of Instruction that our Guru Maharaj, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, used to say that unless one chant at least 64 rounds of japa, he is considered fallen. And then Prabhupada says, according to that calculation, every one of us is fallen. So then he says, but because we are trying to serve the Supreme Lord with all seriousness and without duplicity, and we can expect the mercy of Lord Sri Chaitanya, who's famous as Patit Pava. So we are chanting 16 rounds, it's minimum, we have to chant more. Prabhupada in one of the lectures in his Nectar of Devotion was mentioning that in Vrindavan there are many devotees. He says, we have asked our devotees only to chant 16 rounds, but in Vrindavan there are many devotees who are chanting 120 rounds like that. So 16 rounds is minimum, but you can chant. If you can chant 64, 120, very nice. So we should chant at least 16 rounds. Chant loud enough to hear yourself, not to disturb others. And it is very nice if you can chant in front of Tulsi. While chanting, or whenever you're taking darshan of the Lord, what should be your prayer? Of course, we know that while chanting, we commit a lot of offenses. There are 10 offenses which we are committing. And if you want to stay away from this 10 nam aparad, then what can you do? Very simple thing. The first thing is keep serving the Vaishnavas and never criticize them. If you really want to chant nicely, if you want to chant offenselessly, if you want to progress in chanting, if you want to improve your chanting, keep serving Vaishnavas and never criticize. And is worship Krishna as the absolute personality. Respect your spiritual master. Always give full respect. And at the same time, be convinced that holy name is completely transcendental. Always accept the explanation of the holy name given by Prabhupada and other scriptures. And this will root out the desire of sinful activities. We should give up ritualistic activities and chant in a fully surrendered way to the holy name. So when we are having darshan of the Lord, or when we want to pray to the Lord, what should be our prayer? Prabhupada gave a wonderful prayer. Prabhupada wrote in a letter that what should be our prayer? And Prabhupada said, simply our prayer should be, Prabhupada writes, my dear Krishna, please remind me to always chant your holy name. See, such a wonderful prayer Prabhupada has written. He said, simply our prayer should be this. My dear Krishna, please remind me to always chant your holy name. Please do not put me into forgetfulness. You are sitting here. This is Prabhupada writing further. You are sitting within me as super soul. So you can put me in forgetfulness or remembering. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha. I am giving remembrance, I am giving forgetfulness. So Prabhupada is saying, you pray that you are here as super soul. And you can put me in forgetfulness or you can put me into remembering you. My prayer is, please do not put me into forgetfulness. Always remind me to chant your name. Even if you send me to hell, doesn't matter, as long as I'm chanting the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. This is what is the power of holy name, and this should be our prayer, this should be our mood when we are chanting Japa. So let us chant one round together in this, whatever we have heard, keep remembering, pray the prayers which we were speaking. Prabhupada has mentioned the prayers, and I'll request all of you now, while we are chanting, all of you can on your videos so that we know that we are chanting with the devotees. And we will chant one round of Japa. Try to pronounce it clearly. Wherever you are, try to sit straight. That helps in concentration. And be in a very prayerful mood. Be in a mood of a servant, as if you're serving the holy name. And let us pray very sincerely to Krishna that, oh Krishna, let me not forget you anytime. Please keep reminding me to chant the holy name. Let me not forget the holy name. So in this mood, we'll be chanting one round. So let us start. And again, a request that most of you have kept your videos off. If you can, please keep it on so that all the Vaishnavas get the benefit of Darshane Pavitra Karo E Tumhara Gun. So let us begin the chanting of one round of Japa. And then if you have any questions, we will try to answer in the given time. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhakta. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Very, very grateful to all of you for joining this evening. My request is that we are having this World Holy Name Festival. So maybe wherever you are, try having few people around you, bring them together, sit and chant 1 round, 2 round, or in your daily also try chanting extra rounds. Try organizing kirtan, go on Harinam. With whatever we can do, please try to do at least in this festival time, and offer it to Lord Chaitanya as a humble offering. Thank you very much. We are very sorry, I don't have time. My time is up. And I was hoping that I will be able to take some questions, but then Krishna doesn't want me to torture further. So it's 8 o'clock, 1 minute past 8 o'clock. So I would like to stop.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, if you want, we can take 1 or 2 questions.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be happy.
If anyone has any questions, please raise your hand.
Okay, Mahasundari Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, for this wonderful Japa session. I'm very grateful to you. My question is, as you told that, how can we serve, like how is serving Vaishnavas connected with taste in Japa? If you can kindly guide on this, please.
Thank you, Mataji, for a nice question. When we chant the holy name, we have to avoid the 10 offenses. And what is the first offense? To blaspheme the Vaishnavas. That's the first offense. And most of the offenses can be rectified by surrendering to the Vaishnavas, by begging forgiveness from the Vaishnavas. Like if you have offended a Vaishnava, if you have offended Guru. So that is why it is very important in chanting to keep serving Vaishnavas and never to criticize them. It will give you a proper mood for chanting because you will be keeping yourself away from offending the Vaishnavas. Because when you commit aparad, so what is aparad? Aparad means, radha means aradhana, worship. Aparad means to be away from worship. So if you are committing offense to the Vaishnavas, you are going away from the worship of Lord Krishna. So that is why if you keep serving the Vaishnavas, if you keep yourself as a very humble servant of Vaishnavas and never criticize them, then you will not be committing that aparad and you will always be close to the holy name, or we should say you will always be close to Krishna. Does that answer your question, Mataji? Thank you.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you.
Okay. Mahadev Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
When we chant, Prabhuji, मेरा क्वेश्चन था, when we chant, मतलब हम बोल सकते हो?
आप गुजराती में भी बोल दीजिए।
तो जब हम डिवोटीज के साथ में चैंटिंग करते हैं तो हमें अलग आनंद का अनुभव होता है, बट जब हम अकेले में चैंटिंग करते हैं तो हमारा मतलब माइंड कांस्टेंट नहीं हो पाता, ऐसा क्यों होता है प्रभु जी?
एक बहुत सुंदर भजन है, एक अखिया मार नहीं पाया बल हरि नाम संकीर्तने, तुम्ही कृपा करी श्रद्धा बिंदु दिया देहो कृष्ण नाम ढाने, ओ हे वैष्णव ठाकुर दया सागर भेदा से करुणा करे। एकाकी मार्ग आया बल हरि नाम संकीर्तने। We do not get the strength, the energy, the enthusiasm. हमें भक्ति में बल नहीं मिलता है अकेले, इसलिए जब भक्तों के साथ होते हैं when we are with the devotees, then बहुत अच्छा लगता है, because भक्ति is dependent on mercy. भक्ति कृपा पर आधारित है, अपने बल पर नहीं। जब हम अकेले करते हैं तो हम अपने बल पर करने का प्रयास साथ करते हैं तो कृपा के साथ करते हैं। इसीलिए जब साथ में होते हैं तो बड़ा अच्छा होता है, अकेले नहीं। ठीक है, हरे कृष्णा। Thank you very much. I suppose we have Kirtan starting.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for wonderful class and beautiful answers.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। निताय गौर।
Let's go to Kirtans. And we're very fortunate that the great Mayapur TV team, along with Jagat Guru Prabhu, Doyal Gauranga Prabhu, and Vishwamba Prabhu, who has recently moved to Mayapur Dham, are helping us to organize a live Kirtan session for World Holy Name Festival, straight from there. So I just want to say a big thank you to them, and also to our Antradeep Prabhu, who is leading Mayapur TV. Again, please do support Mayapur TV. They do an amazing service, broadcasting all over the world, and they're really helping us today. So I just want to give my appreciation to all of them on behalf of the ISKCON Kirtan Ministry team for everything they're doing. So let's now go over to Sri Dham Mayapur for some amazing kirtans. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा। थोड़ा रिवर्ब को कम कर दीजिए प्रभु जी, थोड़ा रिवर्ब कम। हरे कृष्णा। तो आज शुभ आरंभ हो रहा है एक इंटरनेशनल फेस्टिवल आज शुभारंभ हो रहा है पूरा दुनिया में। ये फेस्टिवल का नाम है वर्ल्ड होली नेम वीक। एक हफ्ता के लिए सारे विश्व में जो भक्त हैं, सारे विश्व में भक्त थोड़ा सा ज्यादा अटेंशन देंगे हरिनाम की ओर। तो भक्त लोग पूरा ब्रह्मांड में थोड़ा ज्यादा जप कर रहे हैं, इस समय थोड़ा ज्यादा कीर्तन कर रहे हैं, थोड़ा ज्यादा हरिनाम कर रहे हैं, संकीर्तन गांव-गांव में, शहरों में, नगर में जाके कीर्तन कर रहे हैं। So this is the World Holy Name Week. This is the first day of the World Holy Name Week. आज पहला दिन है। तो मायापुर का प्रकाश, मायापुर चंद्रोदय मंदिर, मायापुर चंद्र का उदय, हरिनाम का उदय यहीं से हुआ। नवद्वीप मायापुर श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु की कृपा से, पंच तत्व की कृपा से। तो आज इसका आरंभ हो रहा है, तो इसलिए हर रात को पूरा जगत में कीर्तन हो रहा है। पूरा जगत में कीर्तन हो रहा है, सोचिए, और ये कीर्तन अभी पूरा जगत में ब्रॉडकास्ट हो रहा है. So I request everyone that everyone please chant strongly. If we can make more space on this side for the Prabhus to come in too, if the ladies could maybe move halfway over, and then we can make space for the more of the Prabhus to come and sit here. So, एक भजन गाएंगे. We're going to sing one bhajan. This is called Nam Ashtakam or Keval Ashtakam. Keval Ashtakam. So I'll read in English the translation. Is that okay? English में थोड़ा translation पढ़ेंगे जिसको समझ में आएगा. ये broadcast भी हो रहा है तो पूरा दुनिया में लोग English ही बोलते हैं तो थोड़ा समझ में आएगा. अब sweetest thing. Reverb थोड़ा ज्यादा है प्रभु जी. Reverb थोड़ा ज्यादा है. Bass भी थोड़ा ज्यादा आ रहा है आवाज में. आप इसको थोड़ा ठीक कर सकते हैं तो bass बहुत ज्यादा आ रहा है. Reverb ज्यादा आ रहा है. Of sweet things, it's the sweetest thing you will taste at any time. Of things that bring good fortune, it's good fortune's paradigm. Of things that purify, it purifies most powerfully. The holy name of Sri Hari is surely all that be. From Brahma's realm atop the sky down to the lowly grass, illusion reigns in Maya Devi's treacherous morass. The truth, the only truth, the name of Sri Hari. The holy name of Sri Hari is surely all that be. He's the Guru, he's the Father, he's the friend most true. And she's the real mother who most kindly teaches you to always chant and hear the holy name of Sri Hari. The holy name of Sri Hari is surely all that be. Remember that our final breath may come at any time, no matter if we're old and sick or in our youthful prime. So young and old alike should chant the holy name incessantly. The holy name of Sri Hari is surely all that be. Lord Sri Hari forever dwells wherever devotees, whose hearts are fixed on him and free of all impurities, uplift their voices high and sing his name in ecstasy. The holy name of Sri Hari is surely all that be. Alas, what sorrow, what great pain, the worst calamity, for people to forget the holy name of Sri Hari. Although the name's a priceless gem, mere broken glass they see. The holy name of Sri Hari is surely all that be. Just fill your ears, just fill them with the name of Sri Hari. Just chant the name with all sincerity. Just sing the name, just sing the holy name eternally. The holy name of Sri Hari is surely all that be. It makes this world appear like bits of straw upon the grass. It splendorously reigns, supreme divinity in sound. It's filled with transcendental bliss and peerless purity. The holy name of Sri Hari is surely all that be. This is the last verse. Inspired to glorify the holy name of Sri Hari, a certain sage composed this hymn in Sanskrit poetry. I pray that those who read this lowly version made by me will chant the holy name of Sri Hari in ecstasy. There's a beautiful video of Indra Prabhu, Vyasaki Prabhu, and Dravida Prabhu, who wrote this poetry. He took the verses and wrote it into English poetry. There's a beautiful recording from Panchatattva's installation of their Abhishek, of all of us singing this together. And he's rapping it in the temple room, and everyone is singing along. It's really, really beautiful. Also, I've been requested to beg everyone not to take any videos during this kirtan. So, but if you can sneak one in, it's okay. Hare Namo, Hare Namo, Hare Nameva Kevalam. Hare Namo, Hare Namo, Hare Nameva Kevalam. Hare Namo, Hare Namo, Hare Kalo naste vanaste va naste vagati ranyatha. Kalo naste vanaste va naste vagati ranyatha. Kalo naste 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 vagati ranyatha. Kalo naste naste vagati ranyatha. Hare Namo, Hare Namo, Hare Namo, Hare Namo, Hare Nameva Kevalam. Hare Nameva Kevalam. Hare Namo, Hare Namo, Hare Namo, Hare Namo, Hare Nameva Kevalam. Hare Nameva Kevalam. Hare Nameva Kevalam. Hare Nameva Kevalam. Kalo naste vanaste va naste vagati ranyatha. 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 Hare Namo, Hare Namo, Hare Namo, Hare Namo, Hare Nameva Kevalam. Hare Nameva Kevalam. Hare Namo, Hare Namo, Hare Namo, Hare Namo, Hare Nameva Kevalam. Hare Nameva Kevalam. Kalo naste vanaste va naste vagati ranyatha. 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 Madhuram madhurebhyopi, Madhuram madhurebhyopi, Mangalebhyopi mangalam, Mangalebhyopi mangalam, Pavanam pavanebhyo जगत् सर्वमायमयं जगत् सत्यं सत्यं पुनर्सत्यं सत्यं सत्यं पुनर्सत्यं हरिर्नामेव केवलम् हरिर्नामेव केवलम् हरिर्नामो 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 हरिर्नामेव केवलम् हरिर्नामेव केवलम् हरिर्नामो समाता बंधवो पिता समाता बंधवो पिता शिक्षये चेत् सदा स्मरतु शिक्षये चेत् सदा स्मरतु हरिर्नामेव केवलम् हरिर्नामेव केवलम् हरिर्नामो 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 हरिर्नामेव केवलम् हरिर्नामेव केवलम् बोलो हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राधे राधे, राधा माधव 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 राधे राधे, जय राधा माधव राधे राधे, राधा माधव राधे राधे, हरे नाम हरे नाम हरे नाम हरे नाम, हरे नामे केवलम, हरे नामे केवलम, हरे नामे केवलम, हरे नामे केवलम, हरे नाम हरे नाम हरे नाम हरे नाम, हरे नामे केवलम, हरे नामे केवलम, हरे नामे केवलम, हरे नामे केवलम, चलो ना सेवना सेवना सेव गतिरन्यथा, चलो ना सेवना सेवना सेव गतिरन्यथा, चलो ना सेवना सेवना सेव गतिरन्यथा, हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा, कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। हरे कृष्ण महा मंत्र की जय। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य महाप्रभु की, श्री श्री राधा माधव अष्ट सखी वृंद की, श्री श्री पंच तत्व की, श्री प्रहलाद नृसिंह भगवान की, श्री राम मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की, हरिनाम संकीर्तन की। World Holy Name Festival 2022 की। All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much, dear Mayapur team, for putting on these kirtans for the World Holy Name Festival, giving us access to see the deities live. Just like the Mayapur TV team does, they do this year in, year out, so please do support them. And talking now about tomorrow, we want you all to join us starting at 6 p.m. IST. We're going to be having a workshop, a pronunciation workshop, with Sakyaras Prema Prabhu, all the way from the UK. Then we're going to have a Kirtan Standard seminar with the one and only Janananda Goswami Maharaj, and that is going to be from 7 p.m. Then, from 8 p.m, we will have Kirtans at Sri Mayapur Dham. So please, please, please do join us then. And then finally, we're going to finish off with a World Holy Name Festival interactive quiz. We want to see how much everybody knows about the World Holy Name Festival. So do tune in. That's going to happen at 9 p.m. IST. So we've got a jam-packed day for you tomorrow. Please, please do join us. We look forward to serving you tomorrow. And on behalf of the whole team, Hare Krishna.